Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So among the many things that will start and happen in the month of March, one of them is International Women's Day, allegedly. But be that as it may, whether International Women's Day actually exists or it doesn't, we will have an event in game, and we will get to pick one of the 7 lady champions that are going to get the rework. There is a description of how it's going to work exactly. Basically, attached to an in-game message, summoners will receive a Women of Power rework selector that will lock in primary champion rework vote for the remainder of the event. It will trigger a special daily solo objective tailored to the selection, where rework ballots will be the rewards which will grant the milestone points in that specific champion's realm event. These objectives will start spawning the following day after your selection. During the event, make sure to track community progress and check who's champion winning, basically. Addition to that, summoners will find Women of Power bonus rewards and special solo objectives with reward for you using any of the champions that are up for the rework vote. These rewards will allow you to cast votes for any of the rework champions and earn exclusive profile pictures and titles. This message will also include 2- and 3-star versions of the female champions below to help you hitting those special objectives. And here's that. We have Invisible Woman, Jubilee, Morningstar, Proxima, Knight, Rogue, Squirrel Girl, Wolverine, X23. There will be additional votes available for every single female champion via promo codes that will be sent out from the contest creators and devs. Be sure to make most of the solo objectives because there are going to be some cool rewards in them. So who should you vote? Ultimately, obviously, this is a rework vote. Any champion that you like most is a perfectly viable vote. That, at the end of the day, is the game. We like who we like, and if you feel strongly about any given champion here, you know, a lot of Rogue fans out there, a lot of X23 fans out there, a couple of Jubilee fans from what I hear, and so on and so forth. Realistically, though, there are better and worse answers. If, for instance, you do not particularly care about these champions or, you know, the comics and the lore, then who should you pick logically? And again, I'm not saying that is who I'm telling you to vote, because again, whoever you like, go and vote for that. But there are more quality answers than others, and there are 2 significant arguments for, well, one for each champion, basically. The argument number 1 would be Squirrel Girl. And here, the case of Squirrel Girl is actually very, very simple. Skill class sucks. If Squirrel Girl winning can potentially mean that skill class gets a good champion, that could be a worthwhile cause. Because a lot of people, you know, just saw it for the first time themselves. I got a skill rank 4 gem and I have nobody to rank or whatever. Because, I mean, like, there are options, there are good champions in skill class, but it is quite undeniable that at the moment, skill class is largely receiving quite a big pounding. It has to do with the fact that Kingpin, Nick Fury, and Kate Bishop are not out as 7 stars, and, well, then the 7 stars that are out are largely defensive, or half of them are. There's very limited skill offensive champion options, and neither one of them is kind of like a dominant dual purpose champion or something like that. Who knows? That might just be Squirrel Girl. She did defeat Thanos after all. But yeah, there is a chance that Squirrel Girl becomes somebody that people do chase. And need I remind you, Kabam overall has quite a good track record with the champion buffs. They do hit it more than miss it for the most part. We know Mr. Sinister, we know Red Skull. Those are currently meta champions. On top of that, Medusa is crazy good now. We still have Black Panther, Civil War, Sentinel is significant again. So there we go. That is, in my opinion, quite reasonable argument. There is a reasonable argument number 2, and that is Invisible Woman. Now, again, honestly speaking, I like the mutant ladies in the selection more, but Invisible Woman makes a lot of sense because I have her in 7-star. It saves me a chase. if there's a chance she becomes a very good 7-star champion, and the fact that I will not need to wait half a year to actually get her at a significant rarity level, or spend X amount of time trying to chase her, that is huge. Having, like, as so far, just about all the reworks that Kabam is doing, they pick champions, specifically those that are not out as 7 stars. You can make an argument that they haven't released them as 7 stars because they used to suck completely, which is fair enough in many cases, but Invisible Woman is a 7 star. No one gives a shit about Invisible Woman, but from her abilities. I'm not talking about as a character, because she's just bad, kind of. She's not worth it. I have made some Invisible Woman videos in past, and she can do some very, very cool things, and she can have access to fairly big damage. Unfortunately, is ramp up in style, but the problem is it's just not worth it, and it's too stressful. One tiny mistake, all your ramp up gone, and then she reverts like a base form, and it's just not great. So, if there's a chance that Kabam buffs Invisible Woman, and we already have her as a 7 star, that is a huge kind of quality of life convenience to us. So those are the two logically best picks, in my opinion. Squirrel Girl, because skill class sucks. Invisible Woman, because many of us already have her as 7 star. That said, X23 is quite cool. There's no denying it. You know, whenever I use X23, regardless how outdated she is, it just kind of feels cool. A lot of people do like her. Then we have Rogue. A lot of people love Rogue. I expect Rogue to win for the most part. Because Rogue is also an interesting, fairly unique champion that's not that far away from being great. If Rogue had a bunch of her synergies in her main kit, she'd be insanely good. But she doesn't. So, you could also quite easily see how Kabam fixes her. You know, increase the champion steal timer, you know, give her a couple additional abilities, and you're kind of set. You know, she doesn't need much. She has great power control, which is extremely rare in the mutant class. And she can steal opponents' buffs, which is also extremely rare. Just, you know, make it better. And you're done. Moving on to the next one, we have Jubilee. Jubilee is kind of like a jack of all trades, master of none. For years, I really wanted Jubilee to be added to the game, and as soon as she did end up getting added, I just didn't care about her at all. Because she's just mediocre. Jubilee is not a champion that's bad, but she's just mediocre in every aspect. Because she does, like, she reduces opponent's combat power rate and does it meh. She reduces opponent's defensive ability accuracy, but she does it fairly badly. She has, like, bursts of damage, but they're not, like, massive. And then on her special attacks, she has access to taunt, which is kind of nice, but you kind of have to sacrifice your damage to get there. She has access to slow, which is a great bit of utility, but again, you have to sacrifice your damage to get there. She has access to shock debuffs, which is, you know, kind of like the worst dot that we have. And then level 2, we have Incinerate, but again, you kind of have to pick either or. And Suppression, which is neat, reducing opponent's combat power rate. But again, it isn't that big of combat power rate reduction. Concussion, it's not particularly potent. You guys get the trend. She does a lot of things, but very few things well enough. So she's always, since the moment she was released, she was kind of a mid-champion. And then we have Proxima, who actually is, in my opinion, insanely good champion, with a few minor ways to improve. But she's homeless. She's the definition of a homeless champion. She was released ages ago. It was 7 years ago. 7 years ago. And we haven't had a single piece of content where she can unleash her full potential. That is ridiculous from Kabam. They make a champion, and in 7 years they haven't given us a single quest where you can actually let her loose. Has some cool abilities, but And then we have Morningstar. Kabam original, and she's kind of cool. She's just, again, quite not good enough in today's day and age. For a while, though, she was a champion that people did end up ranking up quite a lot. But then we got Longshot, who does similar thing, just better with level 2 nukes and nah. But yeah, so pick who you want, but think the wider choices are in between Squirrel Girl and Invisible Woman. To me personally, since I really don't like chasing new champions, I don't like the feeling that I have to chase a new champion, I just go for Invisible Woman, I think, because I already have her. Or maybe I'll switch to Squirrel Girl. But either way, that's what it for this video, and I am going to catch you guys soon. Bye-bye. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all been